we found a scene that you did that I think the people watching are going to enjoy.
Oh, I cannot.
It was ranked out of like top 10 worst porn intro scenes.
I know exactly which
I'm
one it
sure.
is.
I mean, I'm sure you do.
I was proud to do that. When they handed me that script, I was like,
It was phenomenal. Like, in a way, I think it was actually the best. So we'll pull it up here. I mean, this kind of thing, obviously, this is on purpose, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I loved it. We laughed so hard.
I see you don't have a lifeguard here at your beach.
I'm not at the beach. This is a bathtub.
No body of water is safe without a lifeguard.
It's 2 feet deep, lady. What are you doing here?
and the stare at the end.
Where did the shark come from? Like, what was the idea for the shark? What was the writers?
The writers?
The writers. You know what I mean? And they hand me this, and I'm like, you know what? This is a go. Because this is ridiculous. People love that scene, and they picked the perfect guy.
I mean, he delivers he gets an Oscar for that.
Well, yeah,
this
because
is 2 feet tall, lady.
He actually looked like he was surprised. And I always like to, when they tell you, the guy has to hesitate a little bit and act like he doesn't want to do the scene. He's like, well, no, I think you should go. And I'm like, yeah, all guys would not do that.
Never. Absolutely not. Do you like that versus just like, all right, like, let's get to it?
Well, that wasn't too much. So, yes, that's fantastic. That's enough dialogue for me. When there's a whole story, I'm just like, the day is longer. You know, like when we shoot for Brazzers, you know, they focus on their trailers and they want to make this whole thing, you know. And so you might shoot like 8 hours of this before you even get to the sex.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Which is like really.
That's a movie.
It is a movie. And they do it all in one day. Like you can be on set 15, 16, 17, 18 hours. And that to me is just like, this is grinding.
8
guys.
hours before you have sex?
Like I signed up to, I'm having sex. I'm not here to act, and they make you do 8 hours of that?
Yeah.
Like, how long does the sex itself usually last shooting?
Anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes, depending if we were able to go straight through. We don't need any clips of editing, but if there were some breaks, then they want to get that extra footage so that the editor has an easier time.
Fucking 35 minutes?
Yeah. You just gotta train for it. You know
Lisa.
what I mean? Think about it.
It's the fucking Olympics, apparently. You gotta train for your whole fucking
cardio,
life.
You know
I
what
remember
I mean?
Asa telling us that there used to be guys on set who would like, what did they do? They would stab
terrible
themselves
things.
in the balls
Like
with
a
like
fork
forks.
and...
Oh yeah, they do a lot of weird stuff. They also inject their penises to stay hard, which is
okay. That makes me feel better.
They're juicing.
They're all on PEDs. I want you all to know that they're all on PEDs.
Oh, that's a
Never
totally
knew that.
different thing. All right.
What are they injecting it with? And where do I get it?
It's a weird, it's a weird combination of stuff. What bothers me is the fact that they're not doctors, so they don't really know the right place to inject, and they're probably buying it from like some street drug
no
peddler.
doubt.
So like, let's say you're on set. Some dude's in the back just tying off, essentially.
Yes.
And then finding a vein, which if I can
They do it in the bathroom
spot
with
it
the sink running. That's how you know they're doing it, because the sink will be running for like 20 minutes. They'll be like, ear to the door, like, oh, he doesn't want me to know. He's getting out his stuff right
So
now.
guys injecting their dicks is just like girls going to the bathroom regularly.
Yeah.
Just
Let the water,
just
let the sink
faucet
run so
all
you
the
can't
time.
hear you.
They won't know what I'm doing in here. The faucet's running.
Meanwhile, the guy doesn't even wash his hands. You know what I mean? Like, are your hands damp still? Because you washed them for 20 minutes.
Come on. I'm looking here. I mean, I feel like Sarah Palin was obviously what that burst on the porn scene, but I feel like what kind of threw you onto like the sports blog scene was the Game Day Sign kid and taking him to the AVNs.
Oh my gosh! And Matt and I are still really good
I know,
friends.
you guys are like buds, right?
We're like a brother sister. Like I talk to his parents when we talk. We're on FaceTime. We're all talking. He's just a great kid. And you know, when that happened, I was here in my apartment in New York, and I saw the sign. So right away, I took it to Twitter, and I'm like, "You guys got to find me who made this sign," and which didn't take long.
Baylor's defense
Had
has
more holes to fill than Lisa Ann, which is hella clever. You got it. And also, I wanted to know how they got it through the screeners, because you know there's people that look at the signs to make sure. So I just wanted to picture the moment. I wanted to relive the moment with him and his friends. It was a folding sign that had a different message. So then when the guy turned his back, they were able to open. Brilliant. This kid's going to make moves in this world, right? So then I brought him to the AVN. Then we went to the AVN again. And then his school at the time let me go to a week's worth of his classes with him. He was going to sports broadcast
school. So you did like a little like Billy Madison back to school thing?
Yeah, and I went to the campus, walked around with a backpack. You know, I never had the opportunity to go to college.
That must have been a fucking scene.
What was cool about it was everyone in his school kind of looked to me like this mascot. You know, like she was down. So nobody was any which way with me. It was just like I walked in with him and his friends. We sat down. Teacher was teaching. Nobody was staring. Everybody was like, this is normal. Lisa Ann's
Wow.
part of our life. This is normal. So cool. So
If Lisa Ann comes into my like sports broadcasting 101, I
it was
don't.
very
I,
cool.
I wonder who enjoyed that more, you or him, because it sounds like you were down with this.
I was down with it because I have no experience in
Yeah.
sports radio other than listening and always trying to get better. So
you learn a lot?
I did learn.
Did you?
I did learn. Yeah.
I think you're good at it.
Thank you very
I mean,
much.
I feel like you have this whole second career where like
Yes.
people are gonna know you as that.
And I love working for Sirius, and I love doing radio. It allows me to talk without having to look good. That's what I like about it.
Well, I mean, so does this podcast, but look at you now.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm out and about. You know what I mean? But like, I do my show a lot from home, so I'm in my pajamas. You know what I mean? It's the greatest thing ever.
From working 2 days a week to working in your pajamas,
Yeah,
you've had a pretty,
Delightful.
I don't want to say easy life because you definitely put work in. But
I put in the work. I put in the practice. Right. I hit the gym. Stay away from the drugs. Like, there's a lot of things.
yeah.
So the opposite of what we do.
pretty
good.
Pretty much, actually, like the polar opposite. Exclusively different.
Yeah,
that.
everything you do is the opposite of what we do.
Check.
That's
check,
pretty good.
Check. I noticed this was in 2015. You kind of were like vaguely mentioning you had something going on with one of the Warriors.
Okay.
Is that player still on the team?
Yes.
Okay.
The
So-
thing is, I do make dinner for any sort of champion award winner.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We
So
won a
this-
podcast award, I think.
This
Yeah, we
is
did.
We won something
This
once.
is a thing.
Yeah.
So other players will know, like, let's say there's a rookie award that goes out in whatever sport. An older player on his team will reach out to me and say, yo, so-and-so won this award. You need to make him dinner. He's going to be in LA during these dates. And then I make dinner.
What's your go-to meal?
Whatever they want. So whatever the
Oh,
request is.
you got it all.
I
You're
got it all. I
good
got a
cook.
grill. I got everything you need. So you just tell me what you want to eat and I'll make it.
So that's what you're doing the other 28 days of the month during porn. Just cooking it up.
Yeah, cooking it up.
So that's actually like, I don't know if this is probably an obscure reference. Rudy might get it. It's a movie called Youngblood with Rob Lowe.
Yes.
And he's a juniors hockey player. And it was, you would have tea with Miss, you remember her name? It's you would have tea, and it was like what the young players would do when they came in. And you go have, let's call it Miss Lippy, which is not from the movie, but you'd go have tea with Miss Lippy, and it was
Why
just
did
like
you come up with Lippy? Is this a common
Miss
name?
Lippy is from Happy
Billy Madison.
Billy
Okay,
Madison.
great. Okay, just wondering.
And you'd go have tea with Miss Lippy, and that would be you'd go have, she makes you food, and you have some tea, and then you guys have sex.
Was Miss Lippy hot?
She's a weapon.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're down
I
with
am
it.
Miss
Good
Lippy.
comparison.
Like
There we go.
the older players set it up, and they're just like, yeah, go have tea. And I mean, that's essentially what it is when you win an award with
Yeah.
Lisa Ann.
And I secretly
It's a
have my
pretty good gig.
pulse on a lot of players, on a lot of teams, and this does help me with fantasy as well. So it lets me know
do you
what's
get-
really going on with the team. If
Yeah.
there's any
So you got, like,
underground
inside
fighting.
scoops.
Inside scoops.
But at the same time, you can't be like a snitch.
No,
so
but
it's a
when
very
it's-
fine line.
I'm only using them to
for
benefit
yourself.
my team.
So you're not getting on the air being like, yo,
No.
don't bet on the Warriors tonight
No, 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 no.
because
So
if you
that's
saw
like
what
the
was going
secret.
down
That's
after
why
dinner
you're so
last
good
night.
at fantasies.
Yeah.
You know about locker room chemistry.
I also know which
It's insider
players are
trading.
very decadent on the off season and put on a little bit of weight or maybe party a little too much. And really legit players, a Tom Brady, a Larry Fitzgerald. These are players that they look at this as their career and they work out all year and they take care of themselves all year. Then other players party like rock stars for 7 months. I never draft them because I'm like, you're going to get injured this year and you're not going to be on my team. But then I talk them up. So other people in my draft room. Oh, I just
So
spent the
fucking
summer
Game
with
of Thrones
so-and-so.
over here,
He's looking
Littlefinger.
really good. He's working out all summer. He's in the best shape of his life. I think he lost like 5 pounds of fat, put on 10 pounds of muscle. You should draft him. And that opens up who I want.